I'm going to give you the top 3 tips to be a better necromancer. You might be dying, you might be struggling, but I know that these tips are going to help you because they're honestly overlooked and I don't think anyone's talking about them. The first thing you need to understand and what is very overlooked is your raise skeleton ability. Once all of your skeletons have been summoned, Raise Skeleton briefly summons a skeletal priest to empower your minions for so many seconds, increasing their damage and healing them for a percent of their maximum life. This is overlooked at the very beginning, and I don't think a lot of people realize that when you raise your skeleton, you are giving them a buff, but you have to be maxed out. Make sure you take the Reaper skeletons. The reason you want this is because they drop corpses. They have a percent to dropping them. This is good because you need corpses. The Necromancer relies on it. More corpses means more buffs and more damage for you. Stop neglecting your elixirs. Don't forget about them. Put them on your hotbar. Whatever you have to do, you need to use them. I personally am not using them just for XP buff. I'm using them for the zones that I'm in. So I'm using one right here where there's a ton of goatmen, and this elixir gives me extra damage towards that enemy. It helps me clear faster. That's better XP. It's going to do everything for you. So make sure you craft them. You realize what you have. And if you're in the zone and you know like what type of enemy is coming, it's really good. And they're great for boss fights. Speaking of boss fights, the Necromancer has a hard time with bosses, and this is because you're squishy. Yeah, there are builds out here to make you tanky, but in general, you are squishy. And that's where I said earlier, those Reaper skeletons come in huge plays. And even you yourself can get other abilities that are passive to help you generate more corpses. You need this because you need a buffer between you and the bosses. So hopefully that helps you out. Remember, corpses, you have to have them to basically function. Lastly, don't overdo your hotbar for all your keys. You can only have so many. You don't need to summon a legion of minions. Yeah, I know we all want that. But honestly, to me, the best way to do this is pick out what you're doing, which is probably going to be your skeletons, whether the soldiers, the defense, or the reapers that generate corpses, and take the other golem and the mages and find out what the passive buff is if you don't have them, and use that to fit your situation. Do not get stuck in this rut that you cannot change your build. Diablo is very forgiving for you to just respec your character and try new stuff, but you need to also find your playstyle. The Necromancer is not a tanky person. You can build them that way, but what you're really relying on is making sure your minions are up front, you're in the back doing the damage, and if you have a way like Bone Prison or anything else to make the enemy vulnerable, that's what you really want. Vulnerability is huge in this Diablo game, and it's going to shine every time you have it. Me personally, I use the Bone Prism, and I will make a build for you guys to show you my Blighted Prison build. If you guys got some value from that, please like, subscribe. I mostly do D&D videos, but I just really like Diablo, and I just want to put on the channel. So yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you later.